Say welcome back to the channel, or do we say good morning? How do we open this one up? I'm tired. Always seen a meme on Facebook that said it showed a little picture. Basically it was saying that when you have to go to work during the week, that you set, you know, like 5 alarms to wake up because you don't want to get up. And when it's time to go to the racetrack on the weekend, that you don't even need an alarm, that you're up 5 hours early, you know. And man, y'all, somebody let me know where you get that. Where do you get that meme from, or where do you get that life? Because Lord have mercy, I don't have it, because I don't need an alarm to go to work. But man, when it is time to freaking go to the racetrack on the weekends, and we have to get up early like this, I wake up at 7 a.m. to go to work. I don't have to get up till 7:30, 7:45. I have to be there at 8. I live really close to my shop. I have to push myself to get up and get ready to go to the track, because I'd rather just stay cuddled up in that bed and get up in like an hour and make some bacon, eggs, grits, and toast. Because man, this I am never up early to go to the racetrack. We're gonna grab some food. I've already got the truck filled up. We filled it up yesterday. We're gonna grab some food, get on the road, and get to the racetrack this morning. Let's go.
Scream real good, getting the nerves out.
Yep, are you good?
Yeah, I guess.
All right, let's do it.
Try to crank it?
No, not yet.
Okay.
You want to go with somebody, or you going to do a single?
I would like to do a single, probably. Got the butterflies all adrenaline
Just
right now.
Close the door and scream a few times, just feel better.
Alright, so man, first pass of the day. Definitely nerve-wracking. So it seems like, you know, make progress, and then every time we go back, we've been away for so long that you feel like you're starting all over again. But I'm definitely getting way better at picking right up where I left off. This was the first pass. Honestly, I had no clue what to expect. John had messed with the freaking tune for like an hour. It felt like an hour and a half. I mean, it was a good minute. You can notice this is pretty funny. Randy, the dude that didn't have enough water, so Randy sprays the water for the burnout, and look, the dude that works there literally comes and sweeps it right back out of the way. I wish I would have caught more of it, but he literally sweep every bit of the puddle back out of the way that Randy put down. I'm sitting there in the car and I'm like, good Lord. But going up for this pass, man, I mean, John had already told me half track, don't go past half track, make sure you let off. So I was just hoping the belt would hold and we could get a clean pass in on this. Everything else is honestly like going good. Also, the stopping the car is a little more tricky because I have lost brakes. The car was down for a month, as y'all know, and for some reason now the brakes are just extremely soft. We don't have tight brakes like we did before, so I definitely have to not redo, but I definitely have to bleed the brakes again and tighten them back up before we bring the car back out. So this is all new to me too. I'm completely changed over to methanol, so now we're watching water temperature, and just the car is just a different animal now on methanol. So the car just completely was a turtle. Like, I had no clue what was going on. At this time, I was currently thinking that nothing was wrong, that John had just messed with the tune-up and just made it a complete, turtle, just to try to collect some data. I didn't know anything was up. Later, obviously, whenever we got back to the pits, that's when they showed me or told me that we chunked the blower belt. So the blower belt literally chunked off, and it did not throw the fuel pump belt, but the fuel pump belt was like 25% off. So a little bit of it was hanging off. It did a number to the edge of the fuel pump belt. I don't think John showed it. I will be showing it in an upcoming video. Of course, we've got to order spares, but it was still usable. So we were able to get the fuel pump belt back on. We were able to put the blower belt also back on. And the blower belt literally did what I thought it would never do. So it threw the blower belt, and the blower belt rode around the harmonic balancer all the way back to the pits and down the track. And the fuel pump belt never come off. So I guess the blower belt never got under the fuel pump belt to make it jump off the pulley. And it literally lasted all the way back to the pits here, with the blower belt literally like wrapped around the harmonic balancer. Because the blower belt, if y'all recall, on this car is between the alternator belt and the fuel pump belt. So if you're starting at the very front of the car, you got the fuel pump belt, then the blower belt, then the alternator belt. There's 3 different belts on this car, and somehow that blower belt rode right there, bouncing around in between them two, and did not really affect the other ones. So as you see in John's video, we're going to get it thrown back on and then take it back up there for another pass. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I don't even remember how many passes we made Saturday. I felt like it was 3 or 4, but I have 2 worth of GoPro. I feel like we missed 1 or 2 with the GoPro. I feel like I need to fire my GoPro turning on guy. Brandon, if you're watching this, you're freaking fired, my dude. Normally I make sure it's turned on my phone, and I didn't do it. I feel like we missed, a pass or 2, but this is going to be the final pass on Saturday. So the last one was the first pass. First pass, we threw the blower belt, and it got hung up, like I said. The next pass, we threw, I feel like we threw the belt again. I might be missing something here. The final pass, this pass right here, we ended up throwing both belts. So, and John didn't show this complete pass. So let's get this thing rolling. This thing leaves extremely hard and extremely rowdy. You'll see here in a minute. This is a very hard pass. Also, shout outs to the burnouts. I feel like I'm getting my burnouts a whole lot better. Holding RPMs in the 6,000, 7,000 range, 5,000. The very first pass of the day, I forgot to mention, I also zinged that thing to 10,000 RPMs. Literally zinged this thing over 10,000 RPMs on that last pass we just made in the burnouts. That was the first one for the day. I don't know what happened. I have new boots that I have not told y'all about, new gloves. We haven't switched fire suits yet. So the boots, I am having a little difficulty getting used to the gas pedal again compared to where I was at with my Dash 5 boots. These are all Dash 20 gear. So that could have been it, but yeah, no rev limiter, and I slung it to 10,000 on the first one. This one we did a way better burnout on. So you can hear John tell me again he wants half track passes. So if you notice the car right there, even if you back it up, it did leave 29.5 pounds of boost in 1 second. So as soon as I let go to trans brake, it pretty much just freaking poured the coals to it. You could see it wrinkled the tires, did a power wheelie, and John said it was actually spinning tires and wheeling at the same time. The car's dead. It cut off. I had no clue why it was cut off. So these situations I really don't panic in. If you've ever noticed, I think somebody commented a while back when I blew my hood off how it didn't faze me at Fayetteville. None of this stuff phases me either. I don't know if it's because I'm in the collision industry for a living, so I just don't care about tearing anything up, I guess. But this stuff just doesn't faze me one bit at all when something goes wrong. And I coasted it. And then I'll try here in a second to start it. The neutral safety is not allowing the car to start in neutral, so the car will only start in park. I had no clue what was going on. You'll hear the phone ding here in a second. That's Randy shooting me text messages telling me not to try to even crank the car or anything. So as soon as I grab my phone, you can see Randy had texted me letting me know immediately, don't even try to mess with it, come get you. So the four-wheeler, the track responded. They come down here and was going to tow me. They asked if I had anybody, and basically I'm like, well, John and them were up there, and so he was going to hook up to me, but then he looked over and he seen John, and he was like, John's coming, we'll just let John grab you.
Somebody's coming? Okay.
So John's channel didn't show all this. We sat on this track for, man, it felt like 30 minutes. I don't know how long it was. It was probably from the time I stopped to the time that John got there and got it off the track. It was probably a good 5 to 10 minutes. Because you got to think about it. When it messed up, John had to go get the smart car. Then he had to run to my trailer, get a ratchet strap, because none of this, I don't have a push bar set up. And we didn't even have a push bar on the smart car because mine will drive back to the pits. Then he had to get the strap, then come all the way down to the end, turn around and hook it up. So it was a good minute that I sat there. I don't even think he included in his video at all that we actually had to pull this thing off the racetrack. Because it chunked the blower belt and it chunked the fuel pump belt on this pass. But that was violent. This car is definitely a new monster. We're going to talk about this more in the future. We'll do a live chat probably at the end of this week. But this car, 29.5 pounds of boost in 1 second. It's not what I'm used to. This car used to do 14 pounds at the highest and then come out the backside at 121 miles per hour. And now, 29.5, 1 second from letting go to trans brake is a lot. If you notice, if you want to back the video up, the car bunny hopped. So that's the reason why you can see that it jerks in the back end. John said it bunny hopped and pretty much come off the ground. So we're going to get this thing back to the pits, and we end up, John shows in his video that we throw the belts back on. The blower belt's trashed, but the fuel pump belt we were able to put back on, crank the car, and everything was good to go, but we didn't make no more passes for this day. That was it for this day.
Blower belt, all belts exited the house. So I know there's going to be a lot of people who's going to be like, get rid of the belts. And trust me, I would definitely be getting rid of the belts if it was up to me. I would be putting a turbo on this car. But if I decided to put a turbo on this car today, this car would be down for the rest of the year because of the other changes that I would change with it. There's no point in doing stuff halfway. So if I'm going to go turbo, I want to make it exactly how I want it, like we talked about in the past. We'll see what happens. We'll see what John says when we get back. See what he thinks, and we'll go from there. So I just don't know how much we're going to be able to push on this car with this blower belt, with this style blower. It is what it is. That bump is so freaking hard. I imagine my prediction without talking to John would be that this is going to be it for today, that it's going to go in the trailer. But no telling John, he might sling it back on and want to send it down through there again. So we'll see whatever John wants to do. I obviously trust his expertise, and I will do whatever he wants to do, because obviously we want to progress with the car. I just don't know if this thing is just going to continue slinging belts, or if we just have some simple problem that is solved, that can be solved. We just left the track on Saturday, and I feel like complete crap. Wife thinks I struggle from anxiety a little bit, even though it's not. She thinks that mine's not mental, that mine's physical. And I feel like I just crashed off of an adrenaline high. Like, it's pretty much as soon as I got in the truck and started heading back, I just feel like complete dog crap. So I'll definitely be glad to get home. On that last pass, John caught some mistakes in the tune. It was set in there on the fuel. The actual, I think, fuel pressure was set, I believe, at 90 psi. And for the injectors in there, it was showing the billet atomizer 750s, which we have this billet atomizer 500s. John said that that's perfectly normal, that you would put the 750s in there because that's how you would build a table or something. That's fine. That's how that should be. But he said the part of it that shows the actual fuel pressure, whatever that part is in the Holly, was set on 90 psi. So it's basically the computer is doing the math, saying that when we figure up, what fuel we need to make versus what fuel we're using, it's calculating off 90 psi, and the car is actually set to only make around 55 to 60. That's what the Coyotes make. John said, looking over all the data of everything, that the car is hovering around 60 psi. That's so the mechanical fuel pressure regulator, that's what it's set on to make. So the fueling was off the whole time in the Holly. That 90 psi definitely messed it up. That one pass that we made, John I think he showed on his channel. Maybe he did in his video. Or I don't know if he recorded. Obviously I haven't seen his video at the time. But Holly corrected the tune with 70% fuel. So the tune that was in there was basically, the fuel was off by 70%. So the Holly added 70% fuel, and it still fell short. So it still did not reach its target fuel, whatever that is called. I don't understand the super technical part of it, but all I know is that the tune-up was missed by like 70%. So that's what one of the things John was trying to correct and go over. Besides that, on that, the fuel pump is a little crooked now. I can see it. I don't know if it was always like that from throwing that last belt. That fuel pump belt has took a beating and needs to be replaced. I've already ordered another one Friday. Today is Saturday. And then we damaged the blower belt. Damaged the blower belt on that last pass. It split. So fortunately, I've already ordered another blower belt Friday also. That's at O'Reilly's. I just got to pick it up. But we're going to need to get another one on the way. So we'll see what happens. Maybe test it Sunday. Oh man, maybe test it Sunday back at the track. John gets his car together. So we'll see how that goes. And let's see here, what else? John asked how much it was to switch to cog belt. Switch over to a cog belt. I don't know if that helps not throw it. I thought the cog belt just helped with slip. But he's asking about the cog belt. So I guess maybe I need to go ahead and make a call to Procharged. and see about what is all involved in switching to the cog belt and how much that would be. Possibly look into that. Financially, it's not going to make sense if we were to switch to a cog belt. The real nice units, I know Randy said, are around like 5,000. That would make no sense because at 5,000, I'm so tired. At $5,000, we could freaking just put turbos on it. Like I said, again and again and again and again, I would already have turbos on the car. We're trying to make content. We're trying to show what we can do and what it picked up on a belt drive. So we're doing it all for YouTube, not the gram. People say they're doing it for the gram. We're doing it for YouTube. We're trying to see what we can do on the belt drive. I don't know how I'm going to make it. It's 2 hours home. And not just put turbos on it right away. So make sure you smash that like button for me. And I will catch y'all in the next video. Thanks, y'all.